Okay, so Kevin joined us, and I got a phone call at the same time. So now, hopefully, hopefully that'll be the end of the interruptions. And it looks like I'll have to paste these things together anyway. I can't avoid it. That last segment was like 8 minutes long. I don't want to upload segments that are that short. So I gotta use the dumb old little video editor on my phone. Okay. Okay, let's see. I don't know. It'd be probably more effective if I thin it with indirect percussion. Bunch of notes. I should probably not keep my notes in the same place with my tools, but it makes it easily accessible as long as I don't drop them. Okay. Now see, even though Novaculite is easy to flake, that's a piece of iron right there on the edge that didn't that got deposited, that didn't do anything. All right, let's see if it'll do something. Okay. Now if I give Kevin too much attention while I'm doing this, he'll want to come in here every time. It's okay right now because those flakes of Novaculite are not very sharp. Each time I'm hitting it, you can see I'm depositing a piece of iron on the edge. That means I've got the platforms strong enough. But the thing is, there's a fine line there. If I make the platforms too strong, I have to hit really hard, and when I hit really hard, I risk breaking the whole thing. Same thing with a larger piece. Or you just get a step fracture if it doesn't go. Yeah. Platform's not strong enough, you get a step fracture. Platform's too strong and you get a snap in half. Or nothing. Nothing happens. Just end up depositing metal onto the edge. Now it's debatable whether or not I'm thinning it any better than I would be with pressure. I'm getting wider flakes, but they're not much deeper than a pressure flake. I don't want to hit too hard and overshoot. Or crack it. Crack it with a radial fracture right through the middle. I don't want to do that. Usually indirect percussion is good for removing large lumps. So far so good. Now you're seeing those little pieces of metal being deposited on the edge because Novaculite is so bright. You know, it's so there's a contrast between the metal and the stone. Same thing happens with obsidian or anything else, but what I've been working with is rather dark colors, so you don't see it. You don't see those little deposits of metal. Let's see, what am I getting here? The autofocus is acting weird. Yeah, this is not focusing, so let me start over. Let me stop and start this over here. Okay, hold on. Okay. I thought I might have had to restart the camera on the phone. I might be able to just thin it down with pressure. Okay. I'm afraid that if I hit too hard, I'm just going to break it. I've already invested too much into this video. So I'm pushing inward quite a bit. But only if I have a nice platform. Now, Scallorn points, it's always good to have a very wide base to start with because you're going to lose the corners. Why don't I just clip off the corners then? I don't know. Excess material is always better than not enough material. But I am going to clip off these corners because there is a possibility of thinning from the corners. Which will help in this case. Now, is Novaculite a sharp material? Can you get a sharp edge on Novaculite? Yeah, but it wears out fast if you use it. Like if you use it for a knife, the edge will wear out fast. Nice. Now, is there evidence that they thinned from the corners like this? I don't know. I don't think I've personally seen a preform that has this type of flaking from the corners. I don't recall anyway. It doesn't mean that there wasn't. I just wish I could recall. I just don't know. I haven't seen any, as far as I remember. Most of the thinning on preforms that I see are, strictly from the base or from the sides. Pretty straightforward stuff. Why does that even matter? Some people want to recreate these things with as much correctness as possible. Just to get the feel for it, for how it was done, at least in one way. If there's evidence for it, at least we know that that was done that way on that particular piece of evidence. I don't know if you can see the flake scars at all. Let's see if I can get this camera to zoom in. Yeah, all right. So now it's just a matter of refining it through pressure. The soft spongy pad with the chamois leather is working pretty good. It's not stopping the flakes. So the question of whether the pad is stopping the flakes, I guess is pretty well answered now. Yes, the hard pad does stop flakes more than a soft pad. But I've got to be careful on the soft pad because you can break off anything pointy. All right, so now I'm going to work on the notches. It's still a little fat, right? But when I do the notches, it should thin out. I think I do need to take a few more pressure flakes from the base, just in case. For two reasons. A fat center will cause you to stall the notches. So I don't want that to happen. And also I don't want it to be too fat for the haft. Nice. Yeah. I gotta make sure that was starting to dig into my hand there. It's so spongy that it can press, and then if it's not totally on the pad, it can give you a good cut. Let's see. Yeah, nice. Okay. Much better. All right, that's how I just need to do the shaping. And if any more thinning is just icing on the cake. Let's try a little more thinning before the barbs and stem get too delicate. I'll push off some large flakes to try to get rid of the mass in the center and some of those lumps. Yeah, that's not good. Undetached, I don't know, having focus issues. If it's not one thing, it's the other. Yeah, that one worried me. It sounded like it went too far. Yeah, I'm losing too much of the edge on those. And I'm starting to get worried about the pad being too soft for these flake removals. If it's too soft, I can break the whole point because there'll be too much of a bridging effect where there's support in the middle, but the ends will have pressure on them in the opposite direction. Yeah, I need to sharpen this. Probably should do that tip last, but it's bugging me, so I'm going to get rid of some of that mass. Yeah, it is a lot like napping hard candy. Have I ever napped hard candy? No, it just feels like that's what it is like. Because you really can't grab the edge very easily. It crushes before you can get a flake. All right, I'll stop messing with the very tip. I do have to thin it down though, right there. So if I save that till last, it's going to be difficult. it'll be difficult because the rest of it will be thin, and I don't want to be trying to thin down the very tip with the rest of it thin. I want to be able to get into a small platform. Yeah. And try to get that last little bit of mass off of there. Where's my spatula tool? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to probably have to lose width off the tip later and to thin that down. I can't get to that. I can't get to this area because it's crushed on the sides. This area right there, I can't get to because I crushed this side and I have a step on this side. So that means I'm going to have to walk it in from the tip or walk it in from the side. Walking it in means removing flake, 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 and that last one hopefully will take care of it. Probably won't be in this direction. It'll be flake, 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 flake. And when I get to the last one, it'll have a little ridge next to that area, and hopefully it'll remove it down to where I have some thinness. And I will do that last because I don't want to break this off while I'm doing the notching. Okay. I'm going to pause it right here.